Hello, my name's Guy Arnold and I'm a Franklin Covey business advisor and also a business advisor in my own right, author of a number of books, Great or Poor, Sales Through Service and Go the Extra Inch. Now, the purpose of this video is an instructional video, should be used in conjunction with the piece of paper you can see behind me on the screen. So if you haven't got the piece of paper behind me on the screen, please do email me support@greatorpoor.com, and ask for the piece of paper called How to Get a Win-Win Outcome Using Dr. Grack. So it's an instructional video for people who have been on my courses, been on Franklin Covey courses, and are also interested in win-win agreements and how to make them work, because win-win agreements are the basis of all effectiveness. So I'm going to run through the video together, the document together, and I'm going to get out of the way shortly so that you can see what's going on, and I'll talk through it line by line. For more information, please visit us at www.greatorpoor.com or www.salesthroughservice.com. So here we go, win-win agreements. Right, the first thing to point out about win-win agreements are that they are agreements to get great outcomes in any difficult situation, be it a sales process, be it an appraisal process, be it dealing with a problem, be it negotiation. It's a phenomenal tool to deliver assertiveness and great results no matter what the situation. So I strongly urge you to look at this material and use these tools. The intent of this video is to help people learn about the win-win agreement, and if they want some more help on it, please do give us a call on that. The results from looking at this video is to enable people to handle any situation, no matter how complex or threatening, using the key principles of effective communication as outlined in Habits 4, 5 and 6 of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We'll use the Dr. Grack format. All the material is available from us at www.crooked-stick.co.uk and the other web addresses, greatorpoor.com, salesthroughservice.com. Everything here is available as coaching, training, advice, or this free outline paper which is here. Please ask us if you want a copy of it. What we will get from using a win-win agreement is improved results, consistent execution of great strategy, reduced stress, more time working on issues and less time in dealing with the consequences of the issues. The consequences of using these sort of agreements will be increased empowerment and responsibility, better results, less time wasted, less stress and better results. But if we don't use them, we'll continue with lack of progress, increased stress, poor morale, poor execution, reduced profits and poor results. These are phenomenal agreements. I have absolutely no idea why they are not taught at school. They ought to be. So please do have a look at this and see what you can get from this to help you. I strongly recommend getting hold of the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and indeed the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People workbook, which I will get a copy of to show you. The win-win agreement is also outlined in Stephen Covey's last book, and phenomenally powerful piece of material, The Third Alternative. So here we are, here is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, here it is. But buy that, you can get it by book or CD, phenomenally good piece of material. Second piece of thing I'd recommend is the 7 Habits Workbook, here it is, all available on Amazon and all other good booksellers, phenomenal piece of material. And thirdly, this is a fantastic piece of material, The Third Alternative. This is all about win-win agreements. The third alternative is the win-win agreement. The win-win agreement works by taking away the fight or flight impulse, which we all have as animals, and replacing it with effective thinking for long-term effectiveness. We don't fight the person who has a different opinion to us, and we don't run away from problems. We don't do fight or flight. We start to engage our cortex. When we are the only animals apart from chimpanzees who have this ability, yet as you can see in the world around you, it's so rarely used. This is a tool to help you use it. This tool can be used for any interaction between people in any situation, in any organisation. be it up, down or sideways. So you can use it for your boss, you can use it for your colleagues, and you can use it for your subordinates. It's a fantastic tool to resolve significant issues that often cause stress and may well be high impact and high emotion situations. For example, delegation, personnel reviews, implementing new ideas and strategies, change management, phenomenally important and hugely important today, getting feedback and gaining commitment from teams, making sales, doing negotiations. It's a phenomenal tool. So how do we do it? Well, we start off looking at the format. The format is I, Dr. Grack. So all you need to remember from today is the acronym I, Dr. Grack. Here it is. I, Dr. Grack. Okay, that's all you need. Remember that and you'll be okay. You need a blank piece of paper, a pen, and the words I, Dr. Grack in your mind. You'll be fine. I stands for intent. Stop and think before taking any action. What is the real intent? Do I want this problem sorted my way, or do I want it done effectively? Am I prepared to work as a team? Am I prepared to listen? Am I prepared to subjugate my ego to get a great result? Because the ego is often what gets in the way. Remember, if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, and you'll feed him for a lifetime. The manager's role is not to sort out every problem. You don't need to know the answer to every issue. A manager's role is to empower and motivate his or her team to deliver outstanding results, whether he or she is there or not. The problem is, most managers think they know best, and certainly this is a real issue for business owners. However the maxim is, remember this. All of us are smarter than each of us. Please remember, as a manager or leader, you do not need to know all the answers. You do not need to provide all of the results. You need to provide the systems and accountability and encouragement to make things happen. You won't get things done as you want them, and they will see you as an interfering and demanding boss at best if you don't get this right. The other person will see your intent as clear as a bell through your non-verbal communication and body language. If your intent isn't good, you won't achieve great communication, collaboration, excellence or empowerment. You will end up having to tell people things time and time again, use the carrot and stick method of human motivation, and everyone will end up getting frustrated and annoyed. Now, does that ring some bells? If, on the other hand, they see your intent as genuine, which is why we always start with intent, they see your intent as genuine and trusting, they will open up like a flower and go out of their way to try and help and cooperate and get a genuine win-win outcome. Get your intent right. Your words might be something like this. I've arranged this meeting to try and sort out this problem or opportunity with the intent of really listening and understanding you and finding between us a great solution that we're both happy with and both committed to. I've got some ideas, but I'd like to listen to yours first, and I'd like to agree that we should both make a point of listening to and understanding each other, with the understanding that nothing is taboo and everything that needs to be discussed is discussed with no hidden agendas. Is this okay with you? Now, of course, what answer will you get to that? You will always get yes, unless they have a hidden agenda. So then we move on, after intent, to desired results. What are the desired results? What are you looking for out of this meeting? And what you're looking for is a win-win outcome. What's the real win for you? What's the real win in this situation? It's all about long-term thinking, building relationships, empowering people, teaching them how to fish rather than giving them a fish. This can take time up front, but this time will be regained later on down the line over and over again when you don't have to chase things up or ask the things that may to be done many times over. What's the real win for each of the other parties in this interaction? You'll need to anticipate some of these from your own experience and previous conversations. But the most part of this whole process is that you listen to them to find out what their real needs are, and then using the process below, work with them to achieve the win-win outcome. I suggest you write out before any meeting what you think the other party's wins are and then ask for them for their opinion. So, if you have a meeting, send them the intent, send them what you think their desired results are and what some of your desired results are. So it's always their desired results first, because if they're interested in what's interesting for them, they're not interested in what's important to you. So their desired results always come first. Okay, so do that. Your words might be something like this. Seems to me that the outcome we're both looking for from this situation is your desired results, then my desired results. Is this how you see it? Is there anything you disagree with? Is there anything else from your point of view? Okay, so I'll repeat that. Seems to me that the outcome we're both looking for is this. Is this how you see it? Is there anything you disagree with? Is there anything else from your point of view? So, once we've got that clear, we move on to guidelines. Guidelines is what we actually talk about. You'll have a clear view of the guidelines that you think should be adopted in a situation. However, the other party isn't interested in your opinion until you properly understand theirs. This is the single most common reason why things don't get done. So write your guidelines down here, but don't discuss them with the other party until they are ready to listen to you. You start the meeting by outlining the intent and desired results, and you may share some of your guidelines if you think it's appropriate, but then the most important thing is that you shut up. You shut up and listen to them using open questions and empathic listening. Your introductory words might be something like this. I have various opinions on this and issues that I would like to have addressed, but let me listen to you first so you can tell me your thoughts and opinions and what you think we ought to do about this situation. Then you need to ask some open questions to understand them and listen to them empathically. You need to ask great questions in order to really understand the genuine issues behind the words of what the other person is saying. Most people don't say what they really mean, and very often people assume they know the meaning of words the other person is saying, when the other person is actually saying something completely different. It's essential to ask great questions to really understand them. The questions should all begin with the following 5 words. Who, what, where, when, and how. And occasionally why, but this can be a very awkward question to ask as it can be confrontational and even closed. Please avoid it unless it's the only question you can ask. The other questions are much better for clarification purposes. Some other great questions that you can always use in any situation when you can't think of what to ask. Remember these, write these down, they're phenomenally important. Some other questions are, I'm confused, can you help me understand that a bit better? Or can you tell me what you mean by that? Or you seem emotional about that, can you explain a bit more? Or you seem angry about that, you seem upset about that, you seem frustrated about that. Good you words there, a bit of feedback. You can always say, and then what happens? This is particularly good when there's a problem. So we can't sell any more widgets. Oh, and then what happens? And when there's an opportunity, well, if we could invest more in advertising, we'd make more sales. How would this advertising help us do what we can't do now? Would that help us do what we can't do now? Because if it won't, why are we doing it? Make notes using the I.Grach format. Proves you're listening, helps you relax, ensures you get all the relevant information. Don't miss anything out, and you can reflect back to the other person effectively. So if you take notes, you're in control, you're controlling the meeting, you're getting things done, and it also gives you a very unfair advantage because you're in control. A little bit here about empathic listening. Empathic listening is about listening with the intent to understand the other person from the other person's point of view and not yours. You need to avoid the temptation to evaluate, probe, advise, etc. All you need to do is listen to the other person, listening for their emotions and real needs. You'll hear that in tone of voice, you'll see it in body language, and you'll hear it in inflection and speed of speaking and all that sort of stuff. It's called peeling the onion to get to the core of what they really think. So you will know when you've got to their core when you can repeat what they've exactly said in your own words. And they say something to you like, yes, that's exactly it. Okay? You do this by using words like this. You use you messages. So what you're saying is, so you feel that, or you're upset, concerned, worried, pleased, anxious, happy, blah, blah, blah. Reflect the emotion that you've recognised from their body language and way of speaking. It's very, very powerful. Okay? You'll know when you've listened to them when they ask you for your opinion. When you get the green light, it'll be something like, yes, that's exactly right, that's exactly what I mean, you've got it completely right, what do you think we should do about it? Then you've got a green light to be listened to yourself. But until you get to that, do not give your opinion until you get the green light. Indeed, you may have to go around the loop a number of times, just keep listening empathically and waiting for green lights to go forwards. There's a little bit. So, you state your intent and desired results, you listen, you reflect, question, use iMessages, may go around that loop a number of times. Use iMessages for your feedback, this is what I think, then you work together constructively to solve the problem. Okay, so moving on. Then you tell them what you think using iMessages. It seems to me that what I've noticed is, what I'm happy about or pleased about is, I have a concern about, I'm frustrated by, I feel confused about. Very important here to stick to facts, not opinions. Facts cannot get you into an argument, and opinions definitely will. So make sure before this meeting you have your facts correct. It seems to me that you're concerned about this and we've reduced our sales in this area. What I've noticed is that you're often late on a Tuesday morning. You've been late 3 times in the last 5 weeks. What I'm happy or pleased about are these results, blah, 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 blah. Get them, make sure it's facts, not opinions. Once you've gone through the guidelines, you will have taken a whole load of notes and you're ready to be well through into this meeting. You then look at your resources. What resources do we both need to make all this stuff happen? There are always at least 3 resources: time, people and money, and of course there may be other sorts of resources as well, maybe venues, maybe training, maybe all sorts of other things that are needed. This is where you write down the resources that will be needed to achieve your win-win outcome whilst you're having a conversation with the other person. By writing them down here, you ensure you don't miss any out. You take full and helpful notes and a new review, and then you review what you've written down with the other person before the end of the meeting. So you're very clear on what resources you've all got between you and how you're going to use them. It's a really, really good meeting tool, and make sure you consider and write down everything that needs to be written down. Now, most meetings stop here. In fact, most meetings don't take into account intent and desired results. Most meetings just focus on guidelines and resources. And then people are really concerned and upset when things don't get done. And the reason why things don't get done is you haven't agreed accountability. Accountability is, how are we going to make sure this stuff gets done? It's often a step that gets missed out. It's absolutely critically important. In fact, there's no point in having the meeting without accountability. Accountability is what makes it happen. Without accountability, it won't happen, and you'll be wasting your time. So you may ask questions like, when are we next going to review this? How will we know how well we're doing? What will each of us need to do to keep the other person in the loop? How will we measure this? How will we know whether or not we've succeeded? Be sure to ask them first, note down their actions, who's responsible by when. If you ask them first, you listen to them first, they'll come up with 80% of the stuff you already wanted, and they'll be totally committed to what you want then. Same rule as with guidelines. Listen to them first, note down what they're going to say. They're going to be very good at accountability. They're going to make sure you ask all the right questions, you don't wimp out, you're courageous and considerate. Fantastic mix of courage and consideration needed here. You make sure you do all of that effectively. Then you will make sure that this thing is accountable and will actually happen. So ensure at the end of this they agree and commit to it by asking them to sign at the bottom of the agreement. Make sure you've got accountability. Without accountability, it's a waste of time. And lastly, the C of Dr. Grack is consequences. It's really important at this stage to agree the consequences of success or failure. These are often worth considering before the start of the meeting, indeed, in conjunction with the desired results and some of the guidelines. How it's very powerful to ask the other person what they think the consequences should be of success or failure during the meeting. People tend to be much more demanding of themselves than you will be of them as a manager. And besides, if they volunteer the consequences, they'll be committed to them and happy to be accountable to them. They will not be committed to the consequences that you impose on them. If you don't do this by this time tomorrow, I'm going to bust your ass. Not going to hurt. Not going to work. Not going to help. Sounds great, managers sound really macho and everything else, but it doesn't work. So no point in sounding macho with something that doesn't work. Make sure the consequences are their consequences. Make sure you agree them. Ask the right questions. Make sure they're realistic. And take note of them and both sign them. Agree the consequences up front, and you will never have a problem when things don't happen as they should do later on. Then all you have to do is ensure you both stick to accountability. Further help on all this is available through coaching training at my websites, crookedstick.co.uk, greatrapport.com, saleswithservice.com. It is essential to get this right. Stick with the rules, apply this rigorously, and you will genuinely be amazed at the fantastic results this tool gives for you. So there you are, win-win agreements. There's plenty of other videos on win-win agreements on YouTube. Have a look at them. They are available on my YouTube channel. So have a look at the other videos here on my YouTube channel. I think from the point of view it'll be over there on the YouTube. And get this right. This is so important. Doesn't matter whether you use me to help you, whether you pay me any money or not. Get it right for you. Use what resources you can. There's this here video which is free. There's lots of other videos which are free. You can buy the books from Stephen Covey, and you can get coaching and this sort of material from all Stephen Covey accredited coaches and trainers, of course, which I am one. So thanks very much for watching. Good luck. Sorry it's been such a long video, but it's phenomenally helpful, phenomenally powerful. Keep watching this video time and time again. Send this to other people. Work through it with them, particularly those with which you have problems. And just use it again and again and again. Repetition is the key to success. So good luck, and thanks very much for watching.